You say is a talking point, but everything you say is like a fucking
I hear you.
paragon.
I know. I know. Sounds good. Sounds good. Now listen. Either you know what you're saying and you're just being dishonest, right? Or you don't know, and I'm just trying to help you out.
I haven't heard a single honest word.
Okay. So let me wait. Hold on. Let me know when you're done, and I can talk.
Damn, this dude. Hold on, Nelson. Check it out. I brought up his statements, right? I brought up his statement, and he's the one butthurt. It's almost like he didn't want to own what he said now.
He doesn't like it when the mirror is pointing right at him.
Totally incoherent, bro. Totally incoherent. But everything.
All right, Blackout. Nick, can I finish?
You see how I can do that too, man. I can talk.
Dude,
like,
we really
the same way like you, dishonest.
We're really
Dishonest,
trying to have a conversation with you, and you're spurging the fuck out, yo.
Accusatory, dishonest,
you are spurging out, bro.
gaslighting, straw manning. I can do all that stuff too.
All right, but Blackout.
You must be from the Northeast. You from the Northeast?
I'm not talking about concrete.
You from the Northeast?
See what happens, Crisis Truth? When you throw it back in their
Blackout,
face,
you're not even having a conversation.
Let's
have a conversation.
You're going to engage as
Blackout. Stop talking past me and around me like I'm not here. Let's have a conversation.
See, I can overtalk.
I'm not trying to overtalk. I want to have a conversation. I said, let me know when you're done, and then I can talk.
Conversation. It sounds like a vicious attack filled with lies.
Just disengage.
Why
bro.
are you being so emotional?
He's scared, bro. We'll circle back later.
Nelson,
we'll circle back later, bro.
Reacting in an emotional, victim-based manner. Look at you. You're like saying,
we'll circle back later, bro. We're gonna
guy,
tactfully retreat, and we'll circle back later when he's got a little bit more fortitude.
Total truth, complete and total unemotional, factual response on my part.
Hey, who's the guy that said that African Americans are 94% Christian?
I was saying identify as Christian. Identify as
Christian. Yeah, who's that?
Yeah.
What's your
anyway,
name?
hold on, wait, hold on, Crisis.
Yeah?
I'll get to you. I want to get back to Blackout. So Blackout, you said,
I'm asking you a question,
I'm trying to finish the conversation I'm having, and then we can get to you.
You're wrong.
All right, okay, hold on. Be quiet. I'm still talking to Blackout. I'm not interested in what you're saying.
In general.
Post in general. Thank you. Okay, so Blackout, when you say victim complex, blah blah blah, you say welfare state, right? You throw welfare state out there. I know you're not talking about like the benefit of social programs. I know you're not talking about their utility, right? You're using it as a bludgeon against these people to go, they're lazy and they're good for nothings. And even though they say they didn't do nothing,
I never said anything like that. No.
Wait. So when you say the victim narrative of the DNC is what drives these people to vote Democrat, and then the welfare state, you're not talking about it in the same way like it is in these Scandinavian countries where you have a social a social net for the sake of your populace. You're saying it like they're good for nothing, lazy couch potatoes. That's the issue.
No, that's what you're saying. I didn't say anything of the such.
Wait, so what did you mean by?
I know it might be mind-boggling for you. I mean, this might be something so shocking because like you hear that word and your mind goes to the negative, and you can't control yourself because you've been programmed.
You're right. I've been programmed. So deprogram me. Let me know what you meant by welfare state when I asked you.
Instant knee-jerk reaction. Can I give you an example?
Wait, but what's weird?
I'll give you an example. A Crisis Risen. Hold on, you be quiet. I'm going to explain to Crisis Risen because this guy can't understand. So I'll give you an example of how their brainwashing works.
All right, so now it's just brainwashing.
So this is what happens, okay? So back in the 2000s, all right, the Democrats, they used to call George Bush a monkey. I mean, they used to call him a monkey all the time, right? It's not George Bush is a monkey. He's a monkey, okay? Well, some people called Obama a monkey, and they immediately screamed and said,
this is just retarded. Listen, here's what's weird, Blackout. When we have a conversation...
I'm not done yet, man.
Blackout, make this guy stop so we can make the point.
Yeah. I just muted him so we can have like a civilized discussion amongst intellectuals. Okay.
Let me just add to this argument what this guy doesn't understand. What it is that we believe that the Democrats are the party of welfare state, of racial identity, of victim politics, and 90% of African Americans just choose to vote for them. So therefore they fall into that category. He thinks that you're calling black people something just because of a bias, whereas that's how they vote.
Right, that's exactly right. He's injecting that into this. No one said anything like that, but they have to make it into some sort of like racist, bigoted narrative in order to try to have some kind of an argument, because they don't know any other way but to have a discourse. It's part of their programming. So, as my example, as I was saying, like they used to call George Bush a monkey, and then when they started calling Obama a monkey, they started screaming racism. I said, well, why is that? This applied to George Bush. Why can't it apply to Barack Obama? And they says, well, that's racist. Well, why? It's actually the person making the accusation that is inferring that is like based on like some sort of like racial thing, like the person's facial features or his appearance.
They can't use. They can't use historical context, because if you use historical context, it's an easy conclusion, right?
No, because then why?
But you would like to eliminate it. Your intellectual self would like to eliminate the historical context in order to make this very superficial point. And I guess you think this is smart, and I guess everything else is dumb.
Well, the only person smart here is you, bro. We would never challenge your intellect, but I will say though that if they called Bush a monkey.
Yeah, we heard you the first time, bro. And this is an elementary school argument.
We can call Obama a monkey because he's stupid too, not because it has some kind of racist connotation to it.
The lawyer professor, he's a dummy. The lawyer professor's a dummy.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, why not?
Harvard. Wife went to Princeton.
Where did Bush go?
Yeah, that's where dumb people go. Yeah, you're
Bush went to Yale, so like, what's the difference?
Yo, so is Nelson still muted, or are you gonna unmute him? Because this is very intellectual.
He left the room.
He left.
He couldn't handle it, so.
Yo, Blackout, I thought you were joking before, but it's fucking sad.
Nah, man.
Anyway,
look, I gotta troll a little bit too. Come on now. The fucking room is, get a conversation going, man.
You had a chance to learn, man. You want to stay in your ignorance, that's fine.
So anyways,
deal you could learn about why your people may be struggling and who's responsible for that and the fucking dynamics of it. But if you want to believe the shallow, mainstream, dummy version of things, then stay like that, man. You sound like a grown man, but you're...
Well, man, look, the Hispanics have come to America and they're eating their lunch now, and so... it is what it is, man. It's not like you don't hear them like screaming as much and stuff like that. They calm it. They get to work. They're building up businesses. They're doing stuff, And that's not to say that like black people don't want to do that, but
you mean the dope dealing Colombians? Yeah, they are eating the lunch. They sell all the dope.
Want you to do that.
They're washing all the dope money here. Of course they're eating the lunch. What are you talking about? Are we gonna pretend? Are we gonna pretend that the South Americans aren't bringing their dope money here?
So you're saying all Hispanic immigrants are?
Are we gonna pretend that the businesses that you're talking about aren't funded with dope money?
You sound like a Trumper now, man. You want to?
Are you gonna say the fucking businesses are not from dope money? Because I know you know better. I can tell from your accent you know a little bit better than that. I'm sure you flipped a couple of keys yourself, just from your fucking accent.
Bro, this guy.
If not, you got some cousins that flip some keys.
Supporting the border wall here,
I could tell. You didn't even bother denying it.
He's gonna be supporting the border wall pretty soon.
Dude, Tony Montana's children would be all fucking going to nice university. But guess what? It still came from the cocaina. It still came from the cocaina. Stop playing.
Okay, you're Mexican, huh?
That's it, bro. I'm Mexican.
I didn't know, man.
You see, the pro-immigration one day, the next day they're a bunch of dopers and drug dealers. The next day, racists. It's just whatever fits the narrative for the day.
I don't like that we lock immigrants up in cages at the border and force hysterectomies.
Yeah, I don't agree with the cages that Obama built and put those kids in. I don't agree with that.
I think no. I don't.
Crack dealers. So,
yeah.
I don't like Obama's presidency. I don't like Trump's presidency. all of these recent presidents have treated our immigrants horribly. In fact, it's really hard to think of a time in American history where we have like treated our immigrants with compassion and respect. So yeah, I agree. They're all bad. Like, let's get rid of the cages. Let's not play the blame game like, oh, your president did it and not mine. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's just get rid of them now.
Well, the difference between you try to compare immigrants in the US in the past to now, but the difference is the reason the immigrants in the past were more welcoming is probably because they had a much more similar culture. For example, when the Irish came in, obviously the Irish did have a form of their own culture, but they were much more closer to what you would call the Anglosphere. But then you have people from like the Middle East, like you know, Muslims and even Jews like myself, which you know we don't really have such a close culture to these these American white people. So there's obviously going to be a much bigger difference between past immigration and modern immigration.
Talking about a bunch of different things at once and debating things, by the way.
Hi, JK.
Hi, Jackie.
Blackout was talking about how the Hispanics were able to use their drug money from cocaine and marijuana sales in order to buy businesses here in the United States and then economically outplace. No, it's very historical, and then outpace economically the indigenous blacks.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh,
yeah,
that
he's
was
making
his
the.
claim.
So what I had
filled
said
in
was
some of the
that
blanks.
Hispanic Americans are basically, they're moving ahead at a better rate than African Americans in home ownership, business ownership, etc. And so, there's a reason for this. It's not because there's, anything inherently wrong with African American people, but it has something to do with politics and perspective. But he doesn't like that. So what he does instead, he's going to make this disgusting racist collectivist comment against Hispanic Americans. But they're a bunch of like drug dealers and thugs and MS-13
Oh, I
scumbags and
see.
stuff.
You're not. You didn't include the drug dealing part.
Well, he said they were a bunch of dopers.
I included it. I included the drug dealing part.
I mean, that's got to factor in there somewhere. At least
it has
in part.
to. What are you talking about?
Look, so any kind of outpacing though, I would think has more to do with incentive. The incentive for our, for Mexicans, Hispanics, any kind of anybody from south of the southern border, whereas African Americans are established here, and it's the so-called immigrants south of the border that need to get that established. They're more incentivized to do that.
I mean, look, it's not that complicated. If you want, there's a documentary. It's called Cocaine Cowboys. It talks about how South Florida was built on drug money. We can also appeal to Panama and how they're built on laundering of drug money and storing drug money. So this is not me just making stuff up. This is just historical facts that this dude would love to eliminate from his presentation because it doesn't fucking sit well with his audience.
Still is to this day, and that if you want to be like that.
But we know the truth. I mean, this is nothing against Hispanics, but we're not gonna tell part of the story and not all of the story, right? Because that would be unfair, especially if you're using this story to bludgeon a group of people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'd hate to say that Hispanic communities are more tight knit than African American communities, but there might be something. There might be something to that also. Even pure numbers, who knows?
Racist.
At least.
Well, tightness is a subjective
that's
observation.
Exactly. And it's going to vary from region to region too.
Everything's subjective, including the word subjective.
You're a genius.
Yeah, man. That's subjective also. To me, I'm a genius. Maybe not to you. It's all subjective, you see. Subjective, subjective, subjective.
Your brain made you say that.
And cocaine.
What was this discussion? Just
it was an Eric Clapton song.
Concrete just wants to espouse his knowledge about the drug game, gangsterism, the underworld.